Howdy, everybody. It's your pal Misty, and I'm getting a phone call. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Of course. I had a feeling it's Amy. I love her, but my best friend does not know. She always forgets that I do a live stream on Monday. Hopefully, she's calling to give me an update. But anyway, hello and good evening, and welcome to your Monday night live stream this week on Monday. I don't actually have much to talk about, but we'll see. I can have nothing to talk about and still talk for an hour. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll get into the week. Hello, Chris. Good evening. Yes, Cheryl is here tonight. You've done an hour and a half on your exercise bike today. That's great. I hope you had to watch some fun stuff while you were doing it. There's Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, everyone. Mary is leaving work, but you'll be driving. Are you going to go to Bunko? Are you feeling better? Let's see. And Lori's here. Hey, Lori. All right. And y'all are all saying hello to each other. I will try to remember to call Amy back after this live stream. So let's start with our weekly recap, which is what I've done since Thursday. I've been kind of sick. Which I think I knew on Thursday. I was still trying to convince myself that it was just allergies because I was like, I cannot feel or look excited right now. But I was very excited about my new job. Uh, I'm currently in background, so hopefully that will clear by tomorrow. And then I'll get my official start date, which should be the 22nd still. I talked to her today to let her know I had completed everything but hadn't heard back. So she said that that was fine, and nothing to worry about. So I haven't felt very good. I don't feel horrible. And for the last 2 days, the congestion has been more running out my nose than staying in my chest, which is good because I don't want it to stick in my chest and turn into something else. But it's also bad because my nose keeps running. I took some Dayquil before the live stream, but it didn't help very much. It did help with the runny nose a little bit so far. We'll see how that goes. Um, we did not walk yesterday because I was not feeling well, and I decided that I needed rest more than I needed a walk. I ended up sleeping like almost 10 hours. It was over 9 hours recorded, and I don't ever know that it's necessarily accurate, but uh, the rest felt nice. So, hey, Mama, thanks for being here. I appreciate all of y'all being here, even if I don't really have much to talk about. So, um, yesterday was Star Wars Day. Today's actually Cinco de Mayo, or it's Revenge of the Sith, or Revenge of the Fifth, because yesterday was May the 4th be with you. I watched Empire Strikes Back because it's my favorite. It's the best movie of all the movies, which is really rare in trilogies that the sequel is in my mind even better than the original. But it was the storytelling, the directing, I guess, too. Even though it wasn't Steven who directed it, I really enjoy Empire Strikes Back. It's my favorite. So, um, that's pretty much it. I'm in background for the job. I finally accepted the job offer. I don't know if I had that on Thursday or not. I think there was a delay the last time I talked to y'all, but I got that done. I officially accepted the offer and then got the background information and filled all of it out, which was basically just my address. So it shouldn't take too long because I've only ever lived and worked in Texas. And just from my history of our companies doing backgrounds, they normally don't take very long. She said they normally take about 24 hours, but it's been 24 hours now. I haven't heard back, but I'm not worried about that. I'm a good girl. I follow all the rules. So there should be absolutely nothing on my background that keeps me from uh, getting the job. It's really nasty weather here again. It's been dark all day. I let the dogs out before the live stream just in case it was raining by the time we're done. We're under another, I think it's just a thunderstorm warning this time. We've been under flood warnings for the last couple of days, but it has been cooler, which has been nice. Like this morning, it was in the 50s. So I sat outside with the dogs a couple times to where normally when we sit outside, I'm the one that comes inside because I get bored of sitting outside. Ruby loves to sun, and Barnum just stands there. It's like he doesn't care. I don't think he always really enjoys it, but he doesn't ask to come inside most of the time. But today they asked to come inside first because I was like, it felt nice outside. It was nice and cool, which it felt like it hasn't been in a couple of weeks. So I know we're just getting in the summer, so I wanted to enjoy it while I could. That's it. That's all I got. What? I'm sorry. I tried real hard to think of a topic to talk about, and my brain is just not braining right now. I did get sleep, like I said. I got a lot of sleep on yesterday. I didn't sleep the best last night, but I still got at least like 6 hours. But I think all the previous nights of not sleeping very good because of various things and not feeling well has kind of caught up to my brain. I went to the gym this morning, but I did not stay the whole time that I wanted to and did not do all the exercises I wanted to because my nose kept running and I was having to carry tissue around with me. And then I don't know, I just didn't feel right about it. Even though I'm not running a fever, I don't think I'm contagious or anything. I think just the allergies caused the drainage. The drainage got into my nasal cavities and chest and just has me not feeling my best. Okay, how's the keto going and how's the fat loss? All right, yep, we can talk about that. Tisharia is here. Hey, Tisharia, thanks for joining. They finally, thank goodness my mama and Lori gave me something to talk about. Cheryl says, yeah, I love fresh air when the weather's nice. It's definitely nice when it's nice outside. And because in the summer months, it's real hard to even sit outside because it feels like your lungs are being seared by the heat, especially here in Houston because it's so humid. It's like it's just dense, heavy, hot air. You know what? Let's see. Let's look. We'll talk about it because I have not done a video because, again, I was going to do one on Friday and then I didn't feel good. Let's take that off the charger. I'm pulling up like my metrics and stuff so we can talk about it. Hold on, let me read this. I'm just going to respond to this. She's giving me an update. My friend is going through more medical issues, and so she's giving me an update. So, as far as I feel like the weight loss is going, the scale says one thing, I say another. I think it's going well. Oh, Cheryl, I just cleared your notification because I can't stand a notification on my phone now that I have it open. But thank you, Cheryl sent me a reminder to call Amy. But I just cleared it before I could even stop myself. Does anybody else have that? I do not like a notification on my phone. I don't even know why I have things notify me because 95% of the time I don't even see it. I just open it and immediately start clearing stuff out. Okay, so let's open my scale app because I have been using a body composition app to track my metrics. Because again, do I think they're accurate? No. But do I think that over time, with it tracking me the same way every time, over time, I think it will at least show if things are heading in the right direction. So Well, I forgot to weigh that first week of April. I thought I did, but I did weigh. I thought I had captured it on my app, but evidently I did not. But I was 201 pounds. So as of the 11th, I was down to 198. So I was down about 3 pounds. On the 18th, I had gotten down to 196.6. So I dropped another 1.4 pounds that week. And then I shot back up to 200 pounds. So I gained 3.4 pounds that week. And then this past Friday, so what, 3 days ago, I was back down to 198.4. So overall, still for the month, I'm down 2.5 pounds, which for me, that's exactly what I was wanting. I was wanting a half a pound to a pound a week. 2.5 pounds is a little over half a pound a week. So I think it's going really well. But one of the other things that I was excited about was that again, I don't know what it was when I first started, but on 4/11, my muscle mass was 113.1. And then on 5/2, it was 113.6, which is it a half a pound of muscle I gained in the month? I don't know, but I do think that it went up a little bit. So losing fat, gaining muscle. That's again is exactly what I wanted to do. Does the up and down worry me? No, I was sick. I wasn't sleeping. All these, I had a flare, like all these things, right, could cause the weight to shoot up. But what I've learned in doing this is looking at progress over time. And so again, from where I started the month to where I ended the month, well, a little over on 5/2, I'm down. What was it? I was at 198.4, so 2.5 pounds. Right. I already forgot. Sorry, my brain is shot. As far as all the other numbers, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Of course, my BMI, it tracks BMI and body fat, subcutaneous fat, visceral fat, metabolic age. All of those are either high or elevated, which is because I'm overweight. I'm still considered, I think I'm still considered obese, but I may just be in overweight. But I think I'm still considered obese by my BMI. And then it has body water, skeletal muscle, protein. Oh, and this was something else that I thought was kind of funny. So, anyway, the one excellent metric that I have, which I think is funny on this, is muscle mass. It's the only thing that's in the excellent range, which out of all the things that I would want to be excellent to start with, muscle mass would definitely be a good one. But it also gives skeletal muscle protein, fat-free body weight, bone mass, BMR, and then my muscle mass. So what I thought was kind of funny was I've always said that I don't have a goal weight because I don't know what a goal weight would be. And then my goal weight would probably shift if I did ever go through with skin removal because that would be another several pounds that I would lose from that. And so that would lower even my goal weight again. But I've always joked that my goal weight is 143 because of Mr. Rogers, because 143 stands for I love you. How he weighed the same weight every day, I don't even know. I can't weigh the same weight for 10 minutes. So I don't know how he weighed the same weight every day, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But what I thought was funny in looking at this number is my fat-free body weight. So if I had 0% body fat, I would be at 120.8 is what it says as of my my last reading. And so they say for women, between 20 and 25% body fat is normally a pretty healthy range to try to get to, right? So I figured if I did ever get down to 20% body fat, which I could, I don't know. I don't have a goal. I'm just trying to get healthier and feel better. Uh, Not that you can tell from today because I feel kind of crappy, but overall, I still feel better than I did at 300 and something pounds. Um, and still a lot better than that last sickness I had. Boy, that one took me out. Anyway, um, if I take 120 and then I take 20% of that, it'd be 144 pounds. So I'd be like right there. So it made me laugh because I was like, oh, that could be a realistic goal weight. Whoa. Like my brain was not, I don't know why realistically. I feel like between like maybe 150, 160 is probably where I will land. I don't think that'll be until sometime next year, to be honest. I'm tracking on my calories on I use the Lose It app because that's what I used when I first started losing weight one time, and so it's the one that I know. But it's given me a projection of, based on the calories, it's given me a projection of January, middle of January. So we'll see. I haven't put in my weight in that, so it may change it once I tell it that I've lost 2.5 pounds this month. But that was the goal. I told it that I want to lose basically a half a pound a week. So how is it going as far as the scale? It's been up and down, but overall, we're trending in the right direction. My muscle mass on the scale shows to be increasing, which is the reason that I went to the gym, because I want to get stronger and have even more muscle mass for a number of reasons. Not only it helps with weight loss, the more lean mass you have, the more calories you'll burn, but it's also good for my mental health, which we've talked about. It's a key indicator of longevity. The more muscle mass you have, considering everything else goes well, you know, but it's better for just tons of things. So I think it's going well. And then we'll talk about the diet. Oh, hey, Sam. I haven't seen Sam. I'm not going to click on your comment, Sam, but I actually remember you from live streams a long time ago. Yeah, Cheryl's great. She's fast. She tries. I know you try to, Cheryl. I'm sorry. I cannot handle a notification on my phone. Yeah, it was great, right? I'm impressed with it. 2.5 pounds is a little over. Well, I guess that last one was into May, so it'd be like a half a pound a week. So that's great. Oh yeah, Mom was telling me about those Royo bagels. Lori says she's heard about them and wants to try them at some point. They're outside of my budget right now, but I would try them. I bet they're good. I haven't had a bagel, regular or low fat or low carb or whatever. I couldn't even, when was it? I could not even tell you the last time I had a bagel. No idea. No idea the last time. You don't see Sam? Cheryl might have already got him. I don't know. Did you get him, Sam? I mean, Cheryl, did you get Sam? I don't know. He's posted about gloves. He has a glove fetish. So, but I remember him from, I don't know. Well, Mama, you probably remember Bella. Cheryl, you may remember Bella too. He used to be on her live streams. Anyway, it was just kind of fun because I hadn't seen him in such a long time. Well, funny, not fun, but it's funny. So yeah, and just to recap for anyone who may be new or wondering how I figured out that I wanted to lose. Yeah, she got him. He's gone. All right. Thanks, Cheryl. I appreciate it. Do you remember him, Cheryl? You used to follow Bella, right? Did you ever go on her live streams? She used to do a live stream like every night. Well, not all the time, but like every other month, I think is what it was. I don't know. She's been posting a little bit recently. Yeah, sure. That's why Cheryl's the world's best moderator. Um, so how did I lose an average of half a pound a week? Well, I've been in a calorie deficit. And do you know what I have? You forgot about him? Yeah. I had to until he popped into my live stream. Um, I don't know how he found me. Maybe he followed me from way back when. I have no idea. Anyway, he's gone. So, but let me back up. So, we've talked about this before, but we'll recap. You have your, because again, we did the whole, all the reasons why I hate counting calories and still why I'm doing it anyway, right? Because I believe consistency and time is progress. So is it perfect? No, but if it's consistent over time, the results will or should, in theory, end up moving in the way that I want it to move. So, one of the ways, if anybody's interested in how to figure out their own macros, their own calories, things of that nature, that's something I can talk about really quickly because I don't have to think very much about it. And it may be interesting to those of you who don't know and would like to try to lose a little bit of fat. So you have your total daily expenditure, energy expenditure, your TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. And that is basically, there's a calculator for it. If you type in TDEE in Google, or you can ask ChatGPT, who is my personal assistant. Yeah, you got to use your own personal assistant. You can have mine. But you can go to ChatGPT and ask it too. But it wants to know your sex, your height, your weight, your age. And if you know your body fat, it wants to know that. But again, that's if you've gotten measured and weighed, and a lot of people don't have that. So what that does is it gives you, and then it asks, how much do you work out? Like, are you sedentary? Are you moderate exercise, heavy exercise? And so it will take that information. Here, I'll do mine right now so we can kind of talk about it, because I don't know exactly what it is. But so I'm just going to go to Google. And I was recently using the TDEE. So I am female. I am 49. I am, well, now we'll say I'm 198. I am 5'5". And for activity, I do moderate exercise, which is, so you have sedentary, which would be office job, no exercise. Light exercise is 1 to 2 days a week. Moderate exercise, 3 to 5 days a week. Heavy exercise, 6 to 7 days a week. Athlete, 2 times per day. Now, technically, I do 2 times per day, but I don't work out at an athlete intensity. And I want to be, like, I'd rather underestimate than overestimate. So I do mine as moderate exercise. And then I don't put in my body fat percentage because I do not know. So what that tells me is that, see this. So my daily calories are 2,362. And when I look on my Fitbit app also tells me, let me see if I can pull that up, because it tells me energy burned. So like today, you can see already I've burned 1,900 calories, and then I will continue to burn calories throughout the night just by being alive, even if I don't do any more activity, which I don't plan on. I may do my cycle machine a little bit, but most of the days I'm around 2,200 calories. So if you have 2,200 calories a day, if you want to lose a pound a week, that's going to be 3,500 calories because there are 3,500 calories in a pound of fat, which is what I'm wanting to lose, is fat specifically, right? So over 7 days, what I did was I took that 2250, let's say, estimate, and I decreased it by 500, which put me at 1750. So that has been my calorie goal per day, is 1750. Now, did I lose a pound every week? No. But was I also over my calories on some of those days? Yes. Well, for instance, we went to Black Bear Diner, what was that, 2 weeks ago? And I decided I wanted the fish and chips. I kept seeing them advertise it and I wanted it, so I got it. And it was a good thing. I don't even think I ended up telling you, Mary. It's a good thing I kind of broke it up into 2 or 3 meals, because that thing alone was 1,800 calories. So that one little meal, which was just some French fries and 3 pieces of fish, were my whole daily calories. Now, I also had like 2 protein shakes. That might have been all I had, because I did actually I had like a piece of fish and some of the French fries each time, because I brought home two of the 3 pieces of fish. So I had one for later and then one for dinner with the rest of the fries. And then I had, I think, 2 protein shakes. One of them had blueberries in it. So I was probably over that day by about 500 calories. But I try to hit it as close to that 1750 as I can. Oh, hold on. Y'all are commenting. Chris says he's been doing his exercise bike for the last 3 months. All you lost? Are you kidding me, sir? That's the wrong way to say that. You lost an entire 10 pounds in 3 months. That's great. Yeah, see, Cheryl knows. Great job. Keep crushing it. You're probably building muscle while you're losing fat. If that's the case, you won't see the scale move as fast. That is absolutely correct. Hey, Gina's here. Yep, Cinco de Drinko. It's happy May the 5th. May the 5th be with you. No, May the 4th be with you. It's Revenge of the 5th. Yeah, and doing bike, your leg muscles are getting a workout, especially with as long as you do it. Because I know you say you do like 2 hours some days. 2 hours on a bike, your leg muscles are going to get a workout from that. And your leg muscles are your bigger muscles. And the more you work the bigger muscles, they're going to grow bigger and be heavier and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello to Gina. Yep. Congrats, Chris, on the 10 pounds, because that's awesome. Okay. So I went to the TDE calculator. So anybody can do this. You can go, you can put in your information, put in how much you work out, and figure out how many days or how many calories in a week do you need to maintain the current weight that you're at, because that's what it's telling you. So to maintain my current weight, including my activity that I have, it's 2250 roughly. I'm doing easy math for us, right? So I took away 500 and got to the 1750. So from there, I prefer to worry about my macros more than I do the calories. I've talked about that before. And for some people, knowing the calories is a little bit more intimidating than just knowing how many grams of something you need to have, right? So I know that I wanted to do low carb keto, and that's been kind of hard to track in the Lose It app because it doesn't calculate sugar alcohols. So most days it's showing about 40 or 50 grams of carbs, but I know in some of the treats that I have and some of the drinks that I have, there's probably 10 to 12 grams of sugar alcohol. So it's probably closer to 30 or 40 grams of net carbs. And then some days have been higher. Like the day that I had the fish and chips, it was significantly higher. I had, I think I shared, I had dinner with Amy last week, and she had fajitas. So I didn't do any modifications. I had it was a big, huge tortilla too. It was like a burrito tortilla. It felt like eating Chipotle. But that was heavy carb. I had some chips with salsa. Not as many as I used to back in the day, but I did have some chips and salsa. So that was a very high carb day, right? So they haven't all been super low carb, but they have been low carb and I have been feeling good in what I've been eating. But, and the tracking, I haven't been like, we talked about this a little bit. I haven't been super specific. Like, I don't weigh my scoop of protein, but like, I do weigh my blueberries. I do weigh if I have broccoli or not broccoli. I have not had broccoli. Brussels sprouts, peas, and peas are a little bit higher in carb, but they also have protein. They also have fiber. So I'm really tracking four things. I'm tracking my fat, my carbs, my fiber, and my protein. Because one thing that I did learn is I have bowel issues. TMI. I know. You're welcome. Thanks for being here, but it's the truth. I have always had bowel issues, but I have found that if I do keep that fiber a little bit higher, it tends to help. So I've been aiming for between 30 and 50 grams of fiber at a minimum per day, which, to be honest, recently has been super simple because I eat the either the HEB or the Aldi bread. I actually got some Aldi bread today because it's cheaper. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't taste as good as the HEB bread to me. Like, I kind of have to toast it because it's just not the same. The HEB bread is superior. But like today, I had two sandwiches. That's what I had for lunch. I had two sandwiches and like a half a bag of legendary popped chips, which is like 10 grams of protein in those chips. And then each slice of bread has 10 grams of fiber. So if I have two sandwiches a day, I'm meeting my goal. And I could very easily, I feel like, for the rest of my life, have two sandwiches a day. I love a sandwich. There's nothing wrong with a turkey sandwich, a ham sandwich, a chicken sandwich, whatever kind of sandwich. The other night, I took a can of chicken, I added a little barbecue sauce, and then I just put the chicken, and that was my sandwich. It was like a pulled chicken sandwich. I don't know. I love the Sam's Club chicken in a can. I know that it is not for everybody. I could eat it just out of the can. I do like to warm it up though. I don't prefer it cold unless I make it into chicken salad, which my chicken salad is just mayonnaise and mustard. So anyway, I do measure some things. I don't measure other, like the chips. I say I eat a half a bag of chips. I just put I eat half a bag because tomorrow I'm going to eat the other half. Did I actually eat more of them today than yesterday? Maybe. I don't know. But over 2 days, I ate the whole bag. So again, consistency over time is going to give me the same result at the end of the day. Chris says he has to do another half hour on your bike because you had a cookie today. What I will suggest, Chris, is don't make exercise punishment for your food. Make exercise fun because you want to do it. And then if you also want a cookie, that's great. But a lot of people, I tell Coach that all the time because they have the Eat More boot camp. And I'm like, that's not the best mentality. I love it for y'all. A bunch of fit ladies, getting more fit. That's wonderful. But for a lot of people who have struggles with eating and then they turn exercise into punishment, well, it's no wonder you don't like it. So I know you're doing great though, Chris, and you can have that cookie. There's nothing wrong with a cookie. As a general rule, if you want to do 30 minutes and have a cookie, that's wonderful. Okay, go get your bike done. Work off that cookie. Oh, Gina, you enjoy the Bearable protein bars. Aren't they so good? They're so tasty. You should move to Texas for lots of reasons, but HEB is wonderful. I love all the HEB products. If you look at my receipt when I go to HEB, most of it's just HEB. Like, this is just all HEB branded stuff. But anyway, so back to where I was. Calories. Figure out your total daily expenditure of calories. Subtract that by how much you want to lose. Now, could I do less than 1,750 calories? I could, but I'm not going to. And if I go over that, I don't even sweat it. I try not to go over 2,000 because, again, I'd like to lose at least half a pound a week. And like on some of the weekend days, I might have been close to 2,250, right? I might have been at my maintenance calories for that day. But over the week is how I tend to look at it. And some people will eat less during the week so that they can have more calories on the weekend. And as long as you're not in such a deficit that you end up eating 4,000 calories on the weekend and blowing the whole entire week, I think that's a really smart way for some people to do it, right? Like Wednesday, I knew I was going to have excuse me, dinner with Amy. So I had a half a can of chicken, which is like 180 calories, and a protein shake, which is 150 calories. So going into the dinner, I knew I only had a little over 300 calories because I knew we were having fajitas, and I knew with, the beans and the rice and the tortilla and the guacamole and the chips, I knew I was going to be over my calorie budget for that day, but I also needed energy for the day. So I like the 1,750 range. There are some days that I'm hungry and I just go to sleep. It's fine. You're in a calorie deficit. There are going to be some times that you're hungry, but for the most part, I'm okay. I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. I would like to have another cookie for dessert, or I eat the protein cookies or the Bear Bells or the Quest bars or whatever, right? Actually, my most recent snack is pretty much every night I have a protein drink, either the lemon protein that I have or the chocolate Fairlife, and add blueberries to it. It's just like a sweet treat at night before I go to bed. That's been my favorite thing. And it's like 30 something calories of blueberries. I think it's like 30. I do 70 grams. I think it's like 35 calories. So all together, that's less than 200 calories for my nightly treat. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I did, right? I took the maintenance calories. I subtracted 500 a day times 7 days is 3,500 calories, which is 1 pound of fat. So in theory, if you keep it that over time, you should lose that on average. Now, some days I have more calories and I don't feel bad about it. I've always said I don't really have cheat days. I just have days where I may eat more calories or less calories or more carbs or less carbs. I call them free days because it's just, I'm not exactly on the plan of my daily that I have, but I do try to be cognizant of it and, do the best that I can. And so far, I think it's working. And until a couple of days ago, I was feeling really good. I've been feeling really good in my workouts. I've increased my weights in my workouts. Every week I've been able to go up a little bit in weight, not on everything, because on some of the machines, you can increase it by like 2.5. So those I've been doing on those machines, I've been going up by 2.5 pounds every week. And then on other ones, you can only go up by 5. So I did that every other week. So, but on most machines now, I'm up 10 pounds heavier from where I started a month ago, which is when I really kind of started tracking. I've had some days that were lighter days, and lighter days meaning I would only do like 1 exercise per body part. Normally I do 2 exercises per body part, and I do 3 rounds of, I've been averaging now between 15 and 20 reps because I'm going a little bit lighter is what I started doing this month. Less range of motion, which has been super good on my joints. So until I got this weird sickness, congestion, stupid weather stuff, I've been feeling really good. I felt good for this morning's workout. I just kept having to blow my nose because my nose wouldn't stop running. But I do think the DayQuil helped with that, so I'm glad I did take that before this live stream. The whole macros thing's like a foreign language, right? So how do you figure out your macros? Well, it's really easy if you know how macros work, because macros are actually pretty easy because it's the number of calories per macro. So fats are the most calorically dense of the macros, and it has 9 calories per gram. So if you had 100 grams of fat, you've eaten 900 calories. Whereas with carbs and protein, it's 4 grams of fat. So if you have 100 grams of protein, that's 400 calories. And if you have 100 grams of carbs, that's 400 calories. So if you were at 100 of fat, I'm not saying this is a good ratio, right? But if you were at 100 grams of carbs, protein, and fats, you'd be at 1,700 calories. 900 plus 400 plus 400. So then it's really what kind of calories do you want to do? And if you go to the TDEE calculator, it will actually tell you, do you want, I think, I don't remember what all. I know low carb is on there. Did I still have it pulled up? Yeah. Macronutrients. So it'll give you moderate carb, lower carb, or higher carb, depending upon what style of diet makes you feel the best. For me, lower carb makes me feel the best. And it'll give you recommendations, right? Like, so here's based on the numbers I put in earlier. You can see there it has me at 236 grams of protein, 105 grams, and 118 grams of carbs. But that's at the 2200. So my numbers are actually a little bit lower than that. When it comes to protein, a good metric to meet is 1 pound, 1 gram per pound. Now, you can either do it 1 gram per 1 pound of where you are currently at, or 1 gram per 1 pound of your goal weight. So even if I set mine at 140, that would still be reasonable because it'd be within the range of what I want. I want to focus on protein because I don't want to lose my muscle mass. I want to lose fat mass. So once you know your calories, and then you know what type of diet you want to do, you can figure out how many calories of each macro you can have to add up to those numbers, right? So generally low carb is considered 100 carbs or less. You can see mine gave me 118, but again, my daily expenditure is over 2,000 calories. So it just depends on how big you are, how old you are, your sex. I don't know that the height really matters, but I guess it does. I guess maybe the height's really for BMI. So anyway, I don't know. So that's how I figured it out, right? So I wanted 1750. I know that I'm shooting for 200 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and then the rest is coming from fat because I still want to have fat in my diet because fat's good for your hormones, it's good for fuel source and things like that. Because you get into the fat burning zone and people think that's when you lose weight. It can help. It definitely can, but you're not burning your fat at that point. You're using your fat for fuel. You're burning fat for fuel instead of burning carbs for fuel. But again, it's about what makes you feel best. So that's sort of how I came across my macros and got to the 1750. But then again, once I lose 10 or 20 pounds, I need to do it again because will my calories stay at 1750? No, at some point it's going to be less than that if I want to keep in the deficit of losing a pound a week, right? So right now the app's telling me middle of January, but realistically, I know once I get below 190, I'm probably going to drop it another 50 calories a week on average. Again, some days will be higher, some days will be lower, but the main reason that I'm tracking is because I have a tendency to undereat. Like today, I had 2 sandwiches and a half a bag of chips. That's about 500 calories. That's all I've eaten. Because I don't feel good and I don't feel like eating. But I'm going to have chicken. I may even put them in a tortilla for extra calories. I may do like a chicken burrito is what I'm thinking. We'll see. I don't know. I don't really feel like eating. If not, I'll drink some protein shakes too I'll definitely make sure. I have not had a day yet where I have been under 1,000 calories, which is great because I do not want to drop under 1,000 calories. And I only had one day that was that low. The other days that were kind of low were closer to 1,200, which I'm okay with on some days, because on some days I do go a little bit over that. Um, You'll rewatch the explanation 5 more times. That's perfectly fine. TDEE calculator. See what macros it tells you to have. Reduce those by a few percentage, because again, that's giving you your maintenance calories. And I would suggest whatever it tells you, drop that by 3,500 for your week, or 500 a day, because that's a pound. Now, some of that will be water. Not all of it will be fat. Some of it may be muscle if you don't keep your protein high enough. For me, fiber is important. So I watch my fiber macros as well. But if you're eating vegetables and things like that, which I do, I eat the same ones all the time. I eat peas, Brussels sprouts, and green beans. Those are pretty much the 3 vegetables that I eat. I tell y'all, I do what I eat in a day, but you want to know? I eat canned chicken. I eat 2 sandwiches. Recently, I've been eating, I don't eat them every day because they're not cheap, but Amy gave me a gift card the other day, so I got like every flavor of the legendary chips, so that I could eat those for a couple of days. Yeah, I mean, I make my chicken different ways. Sometimes I make it a chicken salad. Sometimes I make it a barbecue chicken. Sometimes I just eat the chicken with some peas or things like that. I like ground beef. I have ground beef a lot. I love ground beef and peas. I could eat ground beef and peas every day, all day. But I don't. I do try to vary it up, but it's not very varied, people. So my diet's pretty easy because I don't eat a lot. But I eat meat, I eat vegetables, and then I eat fats. So if I need to up my fat, sometimes I'll add like butter to my bread for my sandwiches, which also adds calories, or I'll add mayo into and make it a chicken salad. So that'll up my fat content a little bit as well, so that I can kind of hit all those macros that I'm looking for. And you're right. Some people do 20 carbs a day. That is a super low carb diet. Some people are carnivore and they do no carbs per day. For me, the lower the better, but it's easier for me because I do eat vegetables every day for the most part. Those 3 are really the main ones that I eat. I'm not gonna lie. Those are my favorites. I like those, and they don't disagree with my stomach, and so those are the ones that I eat. But they have protein and fiber and carbs in them, right? Because they're vegetables. So your carbs will have vegetables. And I think 20 means you're not eating as many vegetables as I would. I eat 20 grams of carbs in vegetables a day on most days. I don't know about today. We might not be having any vegetables today because I don't want to eat anything right now, just because I don't feel good. And when I don't feel good, I don't want to eat. But that's a me thing. And that's just as bad for me as significantly overeating, which is really hard for me to do unless I'm eating out. Like if I were eating at the Black Bear Diner, I said the one meal that I had, I probably could have eaten the whole thing there, but I knew it was higher in calorie. I knew I was full enough. I knew I could supplement with something that was, a little bit better for my body than that. But I wanted it, and it was delicious, and I enjoyed it all 3 times. But it was my whole calories for the day, and I think that's what trips a lot of people up, right? Like who was showing it? I think I like Liam from the Plant Slant, even though he loves beans a lot more than I do. I like beans. They're fine. But there was this girl who I don't remember her name, but she was like, I'm just a fat girl doing fat girl things. She's like, she didn't realize that a lot of the, like the sweeteners that she would use, or not sweeteners, but like the adding to your water and stuff, like all of those have calories, and she would use a lot of them. Some of them use sugar, uh, which not calories, but extra sugar in your system, right? She was like, I was thinking I could have a bagel. How many calories could be a bagel? She's like, 200. She's like, no, it's like 400 calories. And then you put the cream cheese on it, and then you're, and it's those little things throughout the day that I think a lot of people don't realize how much it is. And if you're eating overly processed foods, I'm not going to say that that's bad for you, because if those are the foods that you can eat and enjoy and still say, within a calorie deficit, again, with all of the whole, it can be wrong by 20%, all that kind of stuff, right? Don't get me started on all that thermogenic effect, all that. But over time, right, they're just easier to overeat. That's what they're designed for. So if you go to a fast food, it's easy to have a full meal for lunch and dinner at a fast food restaurant, or a Cheddar's or a Chili's or whichever one you like, right? Or heaven forbid, like Cheesecake Factory, some of their meals are like 3,000 calories for the meal. Now, granted, they're huge, but a lot of people will eat them and they're like, that was a delicious meal. And that was just one meal of their day. And they've already increased their calories by, they've eaten 2 days worth of calories in one day. So it's very easy to overeat. But sometimes, even if you're in a calorie deficit, you may still put on weight because of hormones or because of water or because of just all different types of things. It's that time of the month, right? For the ladies, like, it just trends over time is the one thing that I've really learned in this expedition that I've had, is if I stay consistent, I will see results. It's the consistency that's hard. But once I learned that consistency doesn't mean the same thing every day, it just means showing up for yourself every day, right? Then over time, there's progress. So a lot of people want to lose weight, but they want to lose weight for the summer, or they want to lose weight for a wedding, or they want to lose weight for, like a specific event. A lot of times they don't give themselves enough time to do that. So they'll crash diet, they'll way undereat their calories, they'll suffer through it, and they'll lose the weight because they're way under their calories. They may not feel the best because they're way under their calories. So right now I've found that the calories that I'm at sustain me to where I have energy throughout the day. I have good workouts twice a day, when I want to do them. Again, my intensity is not like athletic level, but I'm putting in the work. And I push pretty hard at the gym. So I was excited to see that number was showing on the scale that it's going up. And I just mainly don't want to lose any muscle mass as I lose fat mass is my goal. That was a lot. Wait. I saw y'all talking about sauces. That's probably because of me. Oh yeah, please smash the like button. I'll say it in the closing, but everybody's getting ready to go by then anyway. Thank you, Cheryl. Thinking of trying sugar-free barbecue sauce. Yeah. You got the barbecue this time? Their barbecue is actually pretty good. I got their nacho cheese, their ranch, their pizza, and their barbecue. Yeah, G. Hughes. G. Hughes is a good one. It has a lot of variety. My favorite is actually the Sweet Baby Ray's, sugar-free. But his barbecue sauces are so good. They're like right up my alley. So I think I have this sweet and spicy one right now. He has a hickory smoked one that's really good. But yeah, G. Hughes has a lot. There's a lot of good, in my opinion, sugar-free sauces out there. Now, some people don't like them because they don't like the flavor of the sugar alcohols or the sugar alternatives. I prefer the flavor of those things, to be honest. But yeah, there are several. Yeah, and G. Hughes has a huge variety. Oh yeah, Sweet Baby Ray's. See, Mary and I, maybe it's a Texas thing. We like Sweet Baby Ray's down here. It's so good. Yeah, he's the guy. Yes, G. Hughes has tons of different sauces. He has like chicken sauces, and he's got like not just barbecue sauces. He does a lot of sauces. I don't know that he does them all sugar free, but I do know that he has several different sugar free sauces. Uh, yeah, Sweet Baby Ray's is the one that caught your eye. Primal Kitchen is good, but it's more expensive. It uses what people say are cleaner ingredients. I'm eating better now than I ever did before, so these ingredients are cleaner to me and they work for me. I'm not one of those. You're not ever going to hear me tell you not to have seed oils for a number of reasons. One, because I don't believe the hype, and I don't believe the hype because I looked at the research, and the research actually says that most of them are pretty good for you. Um, but they can cause inflammation in some people. That is true. And so if you're one of those people, some people can't handle the sugar alcohols. That upsets their stomach. I'm also not one of those people, right? You have to find out what works best for your body. Gina says she'd heard good things about Primal, clean and simple ingredients. Yeah. Yep, that's what they're known for. They use avocado oil instead of some of the other oils, but instead of being $2, you get like half the amount for $4. So for me, I'm fine with the G. Hughes, and the Sweet Baby Ray's is really my favorite. That's the one that I have in my refrigerator 90% of the time. Occasionally I'll get G. Hughes if it's on sale or on clearance or something like that. But I do have some of the Primal Kitchen ketchup that Mary gave me, but she gave me the spicy ketchup. I like spicy ketchup, but it's real spicy. So this last time, and it's a different consistency, but it's good. I enjoy it. I just don't use ketchup very often. Ketchup is probably my least used condiment. There are very few things that I will eat ketchup with. So, but I do have some, and it is good. I can attest the spicy. I've never had their regular ketchup, but their spicy ketchup is good. And for me, it was free because Mary gave it to me because she got it at a good deal someplace else. So, yeah, so that's what we've talked about this week. Fat loss, I think, is going well because it said my muscle mass was increasing and I have lost weight. So for me, that means hopefully it's fat and water. Did it go up and down and up and down? Yes. But the trend over the month was, what did I, 2.5 pounds? 2.5 pounds. So that's half a pound a week. I'm not ever starving. Some nights, like I said, I'm hungry, but that's okay. It's probably because I did more activity that day. That's another thing. People will, sort of what I was saying to Chris earlier, is people will punish themselves with exercise so that they can have, or because they had a food that they felt like they shouldn't. Food is neutral. It's not good or bad. It's just food. It's fuel. It's how you use it, right? And how it makes you feel. Some people feel better on higher carbs. Do it. I feel better on lower carbs, so I'm doing it. But if you exercise a lot, you will also increase your hunger hormones. And so you will oftentimes eat more than the calories that you burned in that workout. And then that's when you get into the whole ED issue that some people have, right? Of different varieties, binge eating, anorexia, things like that. So do what works for you, play with it, find what you like. This is what I like. It's working for me. The tracking has not been stressing me out. It helps that I eat all the same kind of things, but that's just me. There's probably like, I don't know, 40 different foods in my little list, and I just eat them all over and over again in different varieties and in different ways, but it's pretty much the same thing. Well, not the same thing. Like I said, I have a variety in my diet, but I do have a sandwich 4 or 5 days a week. I have 2 sandwiches for lunch because it's delicious. I love it. It's my favorite thing. I get to have a sandwich. I love a sandwich. How do you like your sandwich? I'll ask that in the comment. Never mind. Don't answer yet. Because I did talk the whole hour. Thanks. I appreciate y'all. I'm sure I will feel better once I get all this snot out of me. Although it's going to rain for the next few days, I think, again. So who knows? We're in spring. I haven't seen no flowers yet in May. So I'm getting a little irritated with all the April showers not showing me any May flowers yet. But I'm hopeful to see them soon. So like this video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe if you know how, and comment down below. If you eat a sandwich, do you like to have it in a triangle or cut in half? It's important. And it varies. I can have it both ways, but some days it needs to be cut in half, and some days it needs to be cut in a triangle. I'm trying to figure out why. I don't know, but I'm just curious if anybody else has preference. And until next time, I'll see you real soon. Take good care of yourself. Have a great week. And I'll see you again next Monday.